Irina, here is the constellation Cassiopeia, where Kyrgyzstan also lives. Our project is named after this constellation.
All the information in this film is reliable and based on real events. For several years now, and continuing to this day, video conferences have been conducted between extraterrestrial representatives of the interstellar union of benevolent planets in our galaxy and the scientific community of our planet. Irina Podzorova participates in these video conferences as a translator, interpreting extraterrestrial languages into Russian. She perceives these languages and speech through advanced alien technologies. Extraterrestrials do not need phones. Instead, they use highly advanced quark-gluon communication systems to interact with one another. Irina Podzorova has had this technology integrated directly into her body. This system allows both humans and extraterrestrials to communicate without phones, enabling the exchange of thoughts. On Earth, we refer to this as telepathic contact. Irina conveys knowledge, technologies, and information from our interstellar alien friends to scientists and all people on planet Earth. The primary purpose of this film aligns with the spiritual and moral goals of the union of benevolent planetary civilizations within our Milky Way galaxy. These goals can be summarized as follows: to foster wisdom, awareness, kindness, compassion, and humanity among all inhabitants of planet Earth. When we, the people of Earth, achieve such a high level of spiritual development, we will be able to openly communicate with extraterrestrial beings from benevolent planets, collaborate with them, and gain access to their technologies, spiritual wisdom, medical advancements, and scientific knowledge.
People with common sense understand that in such a vast universe, there must be life on other planets. It cannot be that in such an enormous universe, only our planet is inhabited by intelligent beings. We still have a long way to go, spiritually, to evolve. I can only speak from my personal opinion and understanding. The main difference between the benevolent extraterrestrials with whom Irina communicates and humans is that humans are filled with much malice, while the extraterrestrials Irina communicates with are kind, compassionate, forgiving, and on a high level of spiritual development. We humans still lack kindness in our hearts. We commit crimes and torment one another. Until we overcome all of this, we will not be able to join them.
Kirhitone, the first mentor of Irina Podzorova, wrote the following words: "Hello, raise your head to the stars. We remember you. You are not alone."
The Cassiopeia project is neither a commercial nor a political endeavor. Its goal is to raise the level of awareness and perception of every individual on this planet. The mission of the project is to help people understand that we are not just bodies, but also spirits. And the most important aspect of this is the spirit, something that many do not value, do not love, and do not see.
Here is my birch. I've been drawing energy from it since I was a kid. It was the first tree about which I asked my mother, "What is this?" Here we entered the house. They made a window instead of the door. There used to be a porch where we sat and from which we descended. This is the house where I was born and grew up. Of course, everything has changed because of the new owners. But nevertheless, these three birches have remained unchanged. Here is the first birch, there is the second, and there is the third. There used to be a palisade surrounding them, and this was the main place for games in my childhood. But sometimes I still went beyond the front garden. There is still a stone near which the ants I fed lived. I remember that very well. Here is the path, now overgrown, where my friends and I used to run and play. We were strictly forbidden to go onto the road because it was a highway. On this side, there was an entrance to the courtyard, but now it is here. The fence was moved closer, though it used to be further away. The house was a different color, blue, and it wasn't covered with siding. There wasn't even gas. We only had stove heating. I was brought up by my mother and grandmother, and I never knew my father. I was born in 1986 and lived here until I was 14 or 15 years old. Then my mother and I moved to another place. It was there, in the new place, that I had my first contact with aliens. But even before that, an incident occurred that changed my perspective when I was only 12 years old. I will always remember this day, October 12th, 1998. I couldn't even imagine it. There were only 9 months left before I met Kирхитон.
What is being said about Irina Podzorova in the Russian mass media? Let's take a look at a segment from a well-known Russian television program broadcast on one of the country's major TV channels. So, here is a live broadcast with Andrei Malakov. Are Vanga's prophecies coming true? Are aliens in contact? Aired on the 13th of October, 2020.
In our studio today, we have Irina Podzorova from Voronezh, who claims to be in constant contact with extraterrestrials. Good evening.
Hello.
The most intriguing thing is that your followers from your YouTube channel, which is very popular in the United States of America, told us about you. You have tens of thousands of fans. How long ago did you decide to start your blog and share your experiences about contacts with aliens?
Hello, Andrei. Hello, esteemed experts. Hello, dear audience. My name is Irina Podzorova, and I have been in contact with extraterrestrial civilizations since I was 13 years old. Initially, it was a representative from the planet Dahral, whose image is now being shown on the screen. His name is Kирхитон, and he is from the planet Dahral, located in the Cassiopeia constellation. I first met him in person during a physical contact. He has been visiting me ever since.
Let us show a report from Vremya in 1989 which might provide some context to what our guest is sharing. This is for the skeptics in the audience so that half of you don't think we're completely crazy. Attention to the screen, please. Video Chronicle. An unidentified flying object. Or what was it? A report from Voronezh. Here we are at the location where, according to eyewitnesses, an unidentified flying object landed. And here is one of the witnesses.
We were terrified when the UFO hovered over this tree. The door opened and a tall figure emerged, approximately 3 meters in height. It had no head or shoulders, just a bump where the head should be. It had 3 eyes, 2 on the sides and 1 in the middle. Its head couldn't turn, but the middle eye moved right, left, up, and down. Instead of a nose, it had 2 holes.
But this description is almost identical to what you told us in our correspondence. We must admit, we were a little surprised.
In this house, in a room where there is now a large window, but there used to be 2 smaller ones, I was sitting alone. My mother was in another room. It was evening, and I was watching TV. I will never forget the song that was playing at that moment. It has been imprinted in my memory forever, My Distant Star by Dmitry Malakov. As I was listening to it, I suddenly felt a ray of light penetrate me, even though the room was already lit by the lamp. But I immediately understood that this light was not coming from the lamp. It was internal, much brighter than any physical light, although invisible to the eyes. I felt it in a way that I cannot fully explain. It was the merging of me as a soul with God. When the light entered me, I felt it flow through me from top to bottom, and I began to dissolve into it. My awareness merged with this light, and at that moment, I realized I was not just an ordinary teenage girl living a regular life. I was an immortal spirit, a part of this light, and I would never die. I experienced the bliss of knowing the infinite wisdom of the universe and felt myself merging with a higher intelligence. It breathed such an overwhelming love into me that I almost fainted from joy. I could barely feel my physical body. I only knew I was becoming one with this intelligent light. Gradually, this state began to fade, and when it passed, I found myself still sitting in the same room, listening to the song. But everything felt different. I don't know how long that state lasted. It seemed both eternal and instantaneous. During that moment, I didn't hear the words of the song, I only sensed the melody. When the light left, the lamp's light felt so dim to me. I looked at myself, touched my body, and immediately realized I was perceiving the world differently. What exactly changed? I felt that I was an immortal spirit. This feeling has never left me. That light surrounds me even now. I cannot see it, but it protects me, loves me endlessly, and sent me into this world to share its message with others. On that same evening, I thought everyone must feel this way, but just never talk about it. I went to my mother and told her, I am light. I am an immortal spirit. She didn't understand what I meant. She asked, how did it happen? Did you dream it? I replied, no, I was just sitting and listening. She asked, what light? The one from the lamp. I said, no, a different light. You should understand, you are also an immortal spirit. You will never die, you are here temporarily. My mother waved me off and said, leave me alone. I found it fascinating. Later, when I tried to talk about it again, she said, I don't want to discuss this. I asked her, can you tell me what this is? She said, I don't know. Since then, I've occasionally felt something unusual, maybe once or twice a month. I remember that for the first few days after my initial experience, I kept longing for it to happen again. Nothing in life is more beautiful than that feeling. Now, as a 34-year-old, I can tell you that no earthly pleasure compares to the boundless joy one feels in that moment. Eventually, I stopped waiting for it. Weeks or months passed. I don't remember exactly. One early winter morning, as I walked to school on a snowy street, the light enveloped me again, this time with even greater intensity. Even the snowflakes felt like part of the light. I caught them in my hands, overwhelmed with love for the entire world. I was filled with gratitude for the presence of the light that created all galaxies. It is truly near us. It is near every one of you, my dear audience.